There's D's up on that dino. I'm Sam.
Well, now we know what pre-ejaculation looks like in the male brain. I'm Jackie.
Frankenstein, or the modern Prometheus. I'm Justin, and this is Tammy and the T-Rex on Stinker Madness. Hello, welcome to Stinker Madness, a podcast about bad movies for bad movie lovers. I'm your host, Justin. With me are always Sam and Jackie. This week on the show, currently streaming on most of the free with ads streaming devices, as well as the AMC channel, which I guess is a fucking thing I didn't know about, but whatever, who cares? Nobody's ever going to subscribe to that. Tammy and the T-Rex from 1994, starring Denise Richards and Paul Walker, and Buck Flower, and probably some other important people that Sam's going to tell us about. Okay, yeah, that guy.
Terry Kaiser's the scientist. Pedro, vote for Pedro the pizza boy in this movie. That's weird that both Ellen Dubbin, who's the booby lady, and Efren Ramirez, who's Pedro, they're both in Napoleon Dynamite as well as this movie.
Who is she in Napoleon Dynamite?
I don't know, but it says she's in it, so I believed him.
I know that she was Muscle Guy's, the kickbox trainer's girlfriend, because isn't she like
maybe
a booby lady?
And she was a booby lady in the science fiction series Lex, which was like, everyone was like, it's so sexy. And I'm like, yeah, it's not porn, so why bother with it, right? I've heard
Sam's gotta
a
go
couple
all the way
of people. Yeah, why do I want don't leave anything to the imagination. Just show me jizz and tits everywhere. That's what I want.
Why have a cup of milk when you can have the cow's udders on camera?
Just stuff. Why have milk when you can just jam melted ice cream into your pants? Yeah, I've heard a couple of people that I trust on their opinions that Lex is actually, if you give it a chance, if you can make it past the first 4 or 5 episodes, that there's some good stuff that happens in the show science fiction wise, but I could never get into it.
Sure.
I just thought it was dumb and it was trying to be sexy and it couldn't because it was on Sci-Fi Channel at 10 p.m., right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, nothing says sexy like the Sci-Fi Channel.
Right. I can't think of one thing. There wasn't even any sexy in Battlestar Galactica. They left that to fucking Star Trek Enterprise.
You know, this was sort of like Lex, not this, but Lex was paired with like Dreamscape. And the Australian gal in Dreamscape, they were just going for like tights. She's just straight up sexy because she's fucking gorgeous. And it's like the other show's like, ooh, we rhyme with sex and we're throwing it at you. And I'm like, yeah, but you're half as hot as this lady that's in The Good Show.
Yeah. So they're not even trying.
They're not even trying. Yeah. They're just like, we found a really hot lady and we put her in the show.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah, so this is the same. This is, I think, Stuart Raffles' third visit to the program as a director.
What else we got? Mac and
Ice
Me.
Pirates and Mac and Me.
And Ice Pirates. I thought there was another big one, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, it seems like if you give Stuart Raffle the reins to a movie, you either get something like this or Ice Pirates or Smith Family Robinson in one various. Like, there's half of his filmography is like variations of wilderness families, and it's just like on the ocean, in the Rockies, and it's just Smith Family Robinson over and over and over again, which is probably where the big cats came in this movie because he's got a lot of experience with the animals. However, none of this movie was shot more than 25 minutes from his house.
Oh, okay. I don't like to drive.
No, because this guy shows up and he's like, I've got an animatronic dinosaur. Its arms move, its heads move, and its eyes move.
Bing bong. Hello.
I want you to make a movie. This is how this fucking happens. And he's like, oh, what's the story? And he's like, I only have the dinosaur. I have nothing else. And he's like, okay. Also, we have 2 weeks before it has to go to this theme park in Texas, right? So, like, does this guy even really have, or does he just know where it is?
Yeah, right.
So it took Raffin a week to write it, but that didn't stop him from starting to shoot it earlier than that. In fact, on set, like when they were doing some of the sequences, especially with because they're only gonna, they're gonna jam out the dinosaur shit and then take a breath and do anything that the dinosaur's not in later,
Right, including compositing.
Yeah,
lots of compositing.
So I'm just assuming that when he was with Buck Flower and JJ Saunders, that because he said, like, I was just constantly asking the cast, like, what do you want to do here? Like, you go ahead and write any scene you want to fucking write here. I'm fine with that. So I'm imagining that he and the police and himself shot from the hip pretty hard when they were all together, because they're, they've all known each other for a while.
The characters Norval and Neville.
Neville and Sheriff Black.
Yeah.
Which one was Sheriff Black?
Oh, Jackie,
Jesus
stop
Christ.
I got you guys.
No, you didn't.
So yeah, they just had to, there can't have been permits. Seems like he lived in Orange County because they got to an orange grove pretty easily. Paul Walker is still sort of like on the edge of becoming Paul Walker at this point, but he's also a guy that you have easy access to because he'd been doing commercials since he was like 4 or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So like casting wise, it's just like whoever you have around, you get Paul Walker and you're like, do you have a girlfriend? And he's like, yeah. Okay, well, she's in the movie because if you have a girlfriend, she's going to be hot. Because Denise Richards was Paul Walker's girlfriend at this time.
And it turns out they were right.
They were like, boing. That's your girlfriend? Yeah. You fucking asshole. I mean, I thought you were charming, but Jesus, titties, Christ in heaven.
I'm super cool. I'm a really good surfer. I'm a really nice guy.
Yeah.
And I look like this.
Yep. So he was nailing her, apparently. That's pretty much how this shit gets made. It also makes me wonder, having seen this now, because after they made this, it's just sort of like sent off to wherever, and it gets the American version of it that's going to go directly to video shelves. Pretty much everywhere but Italy cut this down to 70 minutes and made it PG-13, which this movie wouldn't make any... It's not just that all the good parts are rated R. It wouldn't make any goddamn sense without any of that, right?
Which version do you think we got to see?
Did you see Guts?
Yeah.
Did it make sense?
Yeah.
Was there jokes that you shouldn't be able to put in a movie?
Pretty much.
Yeah, so what happens is that it gets cut down to a PG-13, it's mutilated, it probably makes no fucking sense, buried, no one's heard of this fucking thing. Vinegar Syndrome found his original director's cut.
Okay.
And re-released it recently. And that's why it's a big deal right now, is because the original uncensored version of the film is actually a laugh goddamn riot.
Yeah.
It is like, if you know what we know, that some fucking guy that he doesn't even really knows, like, I got a fucking dinosaur, we gotta go fast. And he's like, do you even have legal rights to have that dinosaur? And he's like, question mark. And they're like, fuck it, let's just do it. You can't do any better than this. This is as good as you can fucking do.
Yeah.
You could give Spielberg the same situation and he might fall flat, right? He would say no. He'd be like, I have zillions. I build my own dinosaurs. Fuck off, some guy. If you're Stuart Raffle, you're like, all right, why not? Saddle up, buddy. Let's go. You want to see? You're about to see some shit, man.
What year was this released again?
94.
Oh, okay.
So
3 years before Starship Troopers, and I think like 4 years before the Skrulls or the Skulls, whichever that college cult movie that was Paul Walker's essential breakout. that wasn't
Was
fast.
was Vanderbeek in that too, or was it
Somebody like Vanderbeek.
was it Felipe?
No.
Ryan Philippe?
The other guy that's got a little more smashy face.
Philippi?
Vanderbeek's got a really tall head, right? No,
He's
this guy's got a smashy face.
It doesn't fit on screen.
Yeah, no. Oh, God, I can't remember. He like a Ben. He was like a Ben guy, but from that Party of Five type vibe as well.
Yeah. If you're only half as tall as Vanderbeek's head, you can't get on the ride.
Aw. That's most of us. How are you going to make any money?
Yeah, so basically what I'm taking away from after watching this and knowing full well that, like, no one got in his way on Ice Pirates, and it feels exactly like this. It's just whatever fucking silly shit he could come up with what he had. It's a fun fucking movie. I am now wondering if the original cut of Mac and Me is a laugh goddamn riot, makes sense, and is so unmarketable that it got cut into something. Because that's what I thought when we watched Mac and Me. I'm like, this is edited to the point of just complete nonsense. There's like, this is incoherent in all levels.
Jackie has recently watched Mac and Me. Jackie, would you, because we did Mac and Me like in year one, so it has been a long time since I've seen it. What would you say? Do you think it seems cut and chopped?
I do. I think it is kind of massacred. I think it probably had some really funny, like, scary scenes, like in The Shining when the door gets axed open and they kind of like dulled that down. Our son, who is 9 years old, loves it. Like, our catchphrase right now is pretty nice, because everything in the movie is pretty nice.
Okay. So do you think McDonald's would have gotten in his way in that with the money?
No,
or what,
I think when you make a kid's movie and there's a bunch of tits and dick jokes, they go, we can't sell this. And so they just give it to editor, and he cuts everything that they told him to cut out, and he's like, there's nothing left, guys. And they're like, that's what we got to know. And then the producer watches it. They can't tell. Half of the people that put these things in theaters don't even know what they're looking at to begin with. There's just people that like cash and don't like working. They're like, no,
Hey,
looks great.
me.
Looks great. I think it's great. And they're like, yeah, this would make sense to you because you're a complete fucking moron. So yeah, I'm thinking that the original cut of Mac and Me is probably a lot more fun than what ended up in theaters, which is a goddamn disaster.
Yeah.
I bet they didn't cut anything, though, out of the McDonald's scene.
No,
where people are breakdancing in the parking lot.
35 minutes, Jackie. How there wouldn't be anything left. I mean,
there wasn't probably that much of it, and the same jerk-offs that are like, we can't have that jokes in here, and this is a too adult, and boners, and whatever else he put in there. McDonald's gave us some money. You can give them more footage. Like, just make the McDonald's scene 33 minutes for no reason?
Right.
Okay.
Let's talk about the McBLT in Mac and Me. See, it rhymes! Advertising. Boom, I'm a genius. Pay me.
Did they retire the McRib permanently?
No, it's still floating around.
Okay.
They'll bring it back.
They were threatening, like, if you don't get it this time, it's going to be gone forever. And I was like, maybe it should be.
Yeah, maybe it's time.
Maybe it's time.
Let it die.
To make the barf sandwich go away.
That not real piece of meat die.
I've never had that. Is there actual bones or anything in the McRib?
It's not. It's a chicken hot dog, Jackie, smashed into a thing.
No, it
doesn't
pork.
really even look like. No, it's chicken.
It's ground pork.
I think it's actually byproduct of both of them, smashed into a rib shape.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's gross. No
it
wonder
doesn't
I
even
never
really
had one.
look like a rib. It looks more like a root beer barrel.
Yes.
Covered in barbecue sauce.
Right.
And the barbecue sauce is like the shittiest, almost ketchup barbecue sauce you've ever had. There is nothing worse on the planet than the McRib, and I've probably had about 40 of them in my life because I'm just like, how could you make something so bad? I'm eating it now. I have to remember how terrible this is. Yep, that's gross.
Oh, we are idiots, us Americans. They're like, it's back. They're laughing behind closed doors like these dumbasses are going to eat it this time. And we do. All right. They're on to us. We gotta shut it down for a couple of years, but it'll be back.
I hope Jack in the Box brings back spicy mini tacos.
Salmonella. You hope they bring back salmonella.
There's E. coli at the
Okay.
Jack in the Box.
Yeah.
Oh, I just ate there last weekend.
Yeah, good.
That was in like 93, so you're probably all right.
Well, have you seen our toilet? I don't know about that. What else you got, Sam?
I mean, that's pretty much it. We'll talk about the cast as they show up.
Jax?
I mean, you got like Sean Whalen's in it, and the guy
Sean
from
Whalen,
the Children of the
he's great.
Corn's in it.
Yeah, he's great. Jackie, you want to say anything early before we get started? You got any hate that you want to throw Denise Richards' way, or are you happy with her?
You know, the only thing I can really complain about is that it looked like she was struggling so hard in the opening dance scene.
Oh, yeah, she's not a good dancer.
And I'm like, honey, you can't have it all. Thank God. Thank God you got one major flaw. You cannot fucking dance to save your soul. She's like looking at the other dancers and she's like a half a beat behind everybody else. Like, I can't remember the moves. And I'm like, yes, you are flawed because you're
the one
fucking
thing we
beautiful.
can probably judge Denise Richards on based off of just everything we know about her is that she is probably one of the whitest people that has ever lived. And so therefore, she's got no rhythm.
No,
Well, and I loved the joke in this movie. We need something white, but not you.
Yeah.
yeah. Don't stand
But
in the
no.
direct sun. You are hurting my eyes.
But overall, Denise Richards, I don't know how she is as a person. I've never really heard, but she just strikes me as somebody who's just really nice and she's very beautiful and she has nothing to apologize for.
She has nothing.
Just
to
one
apologize.
thing.
Being
She
married
has-
to that dick
Being
bag.
married to Charlie Sheen. Like,
Well,
that's where
not
I'm like,
on her.
she can only be so. I mean, she married that guy, so.
Well, I think she's probably a total ding dong, but that doesn't mean she's bad.
She's not a bad person. It's just that, like, that was a doozy. That was a mistake. You shouldn't have
Yeah.
done that. I guess I
Yeah,
got a
we've
kid, too, right?
We've all
Yeah,
made
kids.
mistakes,
Yeah.
man.
Multiple.
Oh, what a jip job that she didn't stick around with, or vice versa. Could you imagine how good looking that kid would have been? Paul Walker, Denise Richards.
Yeah.
Woo.
It probably
good
would have been
looking
the
kid.
second coming of the Jesus.
Yeah, right?
Well, I'm sure that when she married Charlie Sheen, she was at that age where I want to have kids and I want to have multiple kids because if you
And
really
this
think
man
about
is
it,
high on coke.
she had her kids and then she walked away. So she wanted both of her
Because
kids to be
he was
legitimate kids.
high on coke.
And
Yeah.
he was sleeping with everybody in town. I feel sorry for her with that whole thing.
Totally.
He probably conned her. She might not have known any of it, right?
Uh-huh. Hey, just so you know, I'm not on coke. You want to get married? Sure. By the way, you got any coke?
You got any coke?
Yeah, I think I would go to lunch with her and I would probably thoroughly enjoy it.
I don't know about that, but
Who's to say?
Yeah. Would I want to go to lunch with Paul Walker?
definitely.
Yes.
Definitely. All right, let's do this. So the movie starts out with her dancing, as Jackie spoke about. She's a cheerleader. She's like the head cheerleader. And they're dancing to very non-cheerleader music. It's stripper music, but then you hear the lyrics,
Yep,
and you're
it's
like, wait, this is the plot of the movie!
dinosaur music in my brain is one of the lyrical lines in the song.
It's all about dinosaurs. But
So-
like a 40-year-old guy, like a Roadhouse guy singing,
Yeah.
and oh man, this music is amazing. Terrible.
It's beyond all the other shit they jammed into a production that probably spanned in its entirety even after the dinosaur is gone, like 1 month.
Mm-hmm.
He manages to get a buddy to like write a dino song for him and get it in there.
Man. Dino Man.
Is this before the
Like
song Open the Door, Get on the Floor,
No.
Everybody do the dinosaur?
No, very much after.
No, that's in the
Dude, they
80s.
should have just done that one.
That
No.
would have cost money.
That would have cost money, and this
Money.
song was bitchin'.
Yeah, and he
Terrible.
like when he's conning his buddy into doing the dino song, he was like, "Well, how long do I have?" And he's like, "I brought pizza, and I figured we'd just make this song right now."
Just jam it out.
Jam it out.
We got 2 things to get to. Dinosaurs and man. That's it. Work it out. Okay, he's a dino man. Yeah, that's it. That's our song.
There we go. See, the shit writes itself.
Okay, so Brian, Michael, as he's named in this movie, he comes in and he's a football player, probably this guy in school, dating the popularest girl in school. And he's like, hey, Tammy, let's go. I'll take you to class. So they go outside and they meet Byron, who is gay. What, Jackie?
I have a major malfunction with this scene because I'm not a male and I don't play male sports, but I'm pretty sure I never saw anybody walking around in their football pads after a daytime practice, like with like mud and gross shoved all over their face. I mean, don't they take showers?
No,
you just, and the field for practice gets used every day, so it is a fucking mud pit. Sometimes your helmet gets knocked off and you get punched in the face. You look rough directly
Jackie,
after a football practice.
I'm going to clue you in. Every high school movie that has shown people in the shower after sports is only doing it so they can show people in the shower. When you are in high school, the number one thing you do not want to do is get naked in front of your peers.
Yep.
Last thing you want to do. So you don't do it unless a man comes in, he's the science teacher, and he probably has a gun and says, you guys stink, shower, I'm going to shoot you. And they're like, so where are you going to shoot us? Because I still don't really want to, please don't make me.
They were, when the morning practices, because we went to such a small school, there's not enough gym time for all the basketball teams. So once every month you have to have practice before school. And that's the only time you ever take a shower. And conveniently, our lady janitor would always just have to change that trash bag when we were in that shower.
Right in there.
That trash bag is empty and I need to change it just to look at some wieners.
No, that doesn't. It does not happen, it's like, Jackie, unless you're in a movie. Or unless you're super hot and you know it and you also are, I don't know what you're doing. You're probably not even then. Like, you barely are able to look at your own private parts when you're in your teens because you're still not sure what they're there for and how they work. You just know that you want to put them places or get things put into them. But that big lady, she sees you naked, she's probably gonna like punch you because I like you / also hate you. I don't know, but you don't want to get naked in front of your peers. Anyways. So he comes.
So it's a wiener thing.
No, it's a vagina thing. I've been in the ladies' showers, Jackie, and not in the way you think, but because I've had to go in there and actually got punished and had to clean both of the showers.
You had to change the trash bag when the ladies were showering.
Right. You got goddamn curtains in your showers. You also don't like to be naked in front of your peers, so fuck off.
Why is it that the same amount of showers were in both locker rooms? One was just hey, look at each other's wieners. Why? Why do you have to, like, whose idea was that?
And then
it makes no sense.
Your adult male coach comes in and it's just, no, like none of that should fucking exist. Get rid of it. No. Okay, moving on. So they meet Byron outside. He's gay. I'm only bringing up that he's gay is because this movie has other than one little tiny use of briefest moment use of a word that is no longer socially acceptable and probably never was. This movie's actually pretty like Byron's such a subtle thing that he's gay. He is
not subtle.
Well, he's not, but like the movie doesn't really like jab it in your face in the same way like Mannequin does, or like it's not so. I think this movie's ahead of its time as far as its comedic use of a gay character.
And
I thought Byron was great.
And also, like, the characters, like, he's just part of the town, right? Like, nobody actually fucking cares. The two deputies like to make fun of him, but ultimately, like, he walks up and they're like, hey, Byron, what's going on, man?
Yeah.
How's it going?
And, like, nobody's picking on him. Like, the school accepts him. They like him.
I think if anybody's getting guff, it's the dad. And I think they're just kind of ribbing him, you know, like, ha, you got a gay son. But they really don't care.
Right, but
no one cares.
There's no, like, I don't know what I'm trying to say that you guys aren't picking up on, but they just don't, the school doesn't make a big deal out of like, oh, hey, you got a gay friend. And like Billy, the bad guy, like that Byron should have been a target in another movie. He wasn't even like, his sexuality wasn't even brought up as like, hey, we're going to beat you up because you got a gay friend. You're a bunch of pussies. None of that happened. And I appreciated it. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
because the angry teenage man was like, oh, no, you're homosexual. I don't have to bother with you. You're not a threat.
Right. Which is how it should be. Like, if you're a homophobe, you're a dumbass. If you're like, oh, I don't like gays. What, you don't like having more women to yourself? No, it's because they're homophobic, because they're also gay, Jackie. Anyways, so,
Yep, gotta keep those gays away from me or I'll just start sucking their dicks.
yeah, you will. I'll do it. Okay, so they go outside, and she's like, hey, Michael, I can't take this rose because of him. And he's like, I don't want to talk about him. And dun, dun, dun. And she's like, no, he's dangerous. You can't have this. And so he's like, oh, yeah, and he eats the rose, and that comes into play later. Meanwhile, as he's doing that, a bunch of toughs roll up, led by this guy named Billy, who thinks that Tammy, or Tawny, as the credits also tell us. We're not really sure what her name is.
It's Tanny.
Tanny.
That's a name for humans.
He's like, you're mine. And she's like, you have a restraining order. Get the fuck out of here. And then he gets in a fight with Paul Walker, and it's fucking amazing.
It descends into madness. There is some fighting. There's wrestling moves.
He got two big elbows.
He got two big elbows. It works itself into a stalemate, so they just grab each other's balls and start squeezing as hard as they can. And this is sort of like a little bit of he's got like Paul Walker has lured him into this because the cops have to break up the nut squeeze. That happens. The police come, and they're trying to get them to stop squeezing each other's nuts, and it's not working. No one's going to let up. And finally, they get him broke up, and then Paul Walker just bounces up like, I'm fine. And he's like, what, you don't have any nuts? He's like, no, we're in a cup. That nutsack got into a fucking nuts... I don't even know, nut squeeze standoff with a man that was wearing protection. He is the fool here.
Well, not to mention that Paul Walker's character, Michael, barely has anything in his hands. And I mean, this guy's got either a really small wiener or like 0 to no nuts. And the guy is crippled, but he's having to grab like a palmful on Michael. And I'm like, oh, yeah, she's definitely upgrading for this next guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's like out of prison, I'm guessing.
Or something. I don't know.
Like jail. He's not in school. He doesn't. I don't know. This guy I looked up, his name is George Pilgrim.
George Pilgrim.
And you know what he's done?
Left Behind 2, the Left Behind.
No. This guy just looks a lot like David Duchovny. That's all I can...
Really? I was thinking Steve
Perry.
Right
now, he looks really, really like... I'm looking at his current photo. I'm like, are you David Duchovny's stand-in? Like, you are the same guy.
Go back to this movie and then look up a picture of Steve Perry because they are mirror's images. Which means, did Steve Perry grow up to be David Duchovny? Do-do-do-do.
I thought he looked like Bruce Springsteen.
Do-do-do-do. I want to believe. That David Duchovny, man, you should hear him at karaoke. Fucking somehow just nails Don't Stop Believing. I don't get it. Okay, where the fuck are we? T-Rex! There's a shot of a T-Rex, and it's in a warehouse, and it's a little small. It's a little small. Yeah. It's a little T-Rex, just a little guy.
It's only like 12 feet or something.
Yeah. Not a big one. They've got their hands. Gunther and his science buds also got a knock on their door. And while they're hanging out, and some guy was like, I got access to an animatronic T-Rex. And they're like, we're in. What are we in on? I don't know, but let's go play with it.
Well,
So
Malachi is running the remotes.
Right.
The guy from Children of the Corn.
Yeah, got your woman, Outlander.
And then Patrick Swayze lookalike guy is in the background.
Yeah, they got to really rip Patrick Swayze.
And he doesn't get to be in the credits. No one knows who that man is.
That's weird. He had lines.
I know. They just lost the list, I guess.
Okay.
They shot the credit list by memory.
Gunther's got a full-on Dr. Frankenstein thing going on here. I want to see its power. Show me its power.
His name is Dr. Wackenstein.
Yeah, Dr. Wackenstein. So he's getting a big demo, and he's like, this is it. This is how we're going to make man immortal. And everybody else in the room is, oh, okay.
I don't think you can leave out the fact that during this scene, the monster gets maybe 100 to 200 pounds on a bench press thing.
Oh, yeah.
And Patrick Swayze lookalike throws it up to him, and the dinosaur catches it and then throws it at the scientist, and the scientist tries to one-hand it and immediately breaks his wrist. But not in this movie. He just goes down. And they're like, give him the log test. And then they give him a log, and he crunches it in half.
Yeah. That's what.
And no one goes, why did we make it a dinosaur?
That's weird. Like, I voted for a puppy. I voted for a Yeti. Yeah, well, I'm Gunther, and I like dinosaurs. That's what got me into science, and that's how it's going to take me to Science Nobel Peace Prize.
They're all like, fine dinosaur. It took him a week and a half to not make it a giant walking bag of tits.
Well, he has a very, I guess, appropriate relationship with his assistant because it seems like they're a thing. She's down with his sexual harassment, and
she's his nurse.
She's his girlfriend.
Yeah, she's Dr. Girlfriend. So, Tammy calls Michael, and they're both moopy about what happened earlier today. She's like, I'm just so lonely, come over. He's like, yay. So he goes over there for some makeout time, and as he's sneaking up the trellis to get into her room, two of Billy's gal pals drive by, and they see him doing it, and they're like, we gotta call Billy. So they call him, bring him over. Whole gang shows up.
They're just
Well, the parents are politely having tea in the living room, and then the dad's like, I'm gonna take care of this. Yeah, and the wife is like, yeah, right, butthole, like you've taken care of it before. And then he opens the door, and he's like, Billy, go home. And Billy and his whole gang just rush in, and he's like, oh my God, this has happened before. Why didn't I just fucking call the police?
Every time.
Yeah.
Every time this little fucker runs me over. I hate these kids. One day I'm gonna win.
Get a shotgun. God damn it. If this has happened before, it is time to arm up. I am not a proponent for the Second Amendment in all circumstances. By any means, it is time to arm up, Dad.
I mean, had it not gone well the first time, once he's in the parking lot, you're halfway to him with a fucking 9-iron if you got to, right?
Yeah, right.
Like, you're going to fuck up his car, you're going to fuck up his face, he's not coming back.
Bad dad. Bad dadding. You have one job, Dad.
Yeah, and he just stands there as all these teenagers rush past him like, oh no, it's happening again. He's gonna have sex with my daughter right in front of me.
Yeah, and my wife. And me, too. The last part's okay.
So, like, their relationship, Tammy, Tanny, and Billy, it's just like she was walking down the street and he's like, you're my property now. That's like how that went down, I guess.
Seems like it, yeah. Also, his name is Billy. How tough can he fucking be? Hey, Billy. Billy. Like,
they talk shit to Billy the Kid and get filled up with hot lead.
Fair enough. Yeah, you don't fuck around with that guy. Okay. All right, so they chase out Michael. He starts running down the street. right past his fucking car. I don't know what was up with that.
I don't know why he ran past his car.
That's kind of your thing, Brian. Cars. Come on. And so they chase him to like a construction yard, whatever. It's like, or just I don't know, empty area. And they hit him with a bat, and he goes down, gets back up, and they hit him more with the bat. It's a big rubber bat. It's pretty funny. And they throw him in the trunk. What are we going to do with him, boss? Shut up.
Shut up, Mimsy.
Give him a backhand. So they take him to a wildlife refugee.
There's like an open safari park with animals that just roam freely and are stopped by a gate.
Yeah.
They're not gated past. Within the gate. It's just, once you go in there, you are just fucked if you're in a soft top Jeep.
Yeah.
This is most likely the cat place from the movie Roar.
It seems Roar-esque.
Because that's still there, right? And that's right by where Orange County is, so...
It seems Roar-esque. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. The guy got bit by one of the jaguars in the making of the movie.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, they've had the taste of man flesh, Sam, so they know. Those Roar kittens. They know. So he's like, shit, I'm in fucking Reseda or wherever the fuck this place is. God damn it, I gotta walk back. Wait, what was that sound? And there's a fucking lion coming at him. So he climbs a tree. Well, there's a fucking Black Panther up there. And he's like, my king, I miss you. Or whatever people say. Wakanda forever. And then he climbs back down and the lion's on top of him. I'm gonna try to punch you, but he fails. And he gets mauled up pretty good.
Yeah, the lion's going for his throat in this scene, and then the game park warden comes up and shoots both of them with the shotgun.
Yeah. All right.
The park warden's like,
use here?
The game warden is like, about goddamn time. He looks like he's wanted to just fill this whole place up with lead and be done with it.
Yep. Hell, I could shoot that with the tranquilizer gun and probably everybody go home safe tonight, but...
Yeah. No, I mean...
Got a little overspray there. Sorry about that, Brian.
He's hit the lion 3 times before his second foot is out of the truck.
And Brian!
Yeah.
The shotgun's not... While somebody's getting mauled, you can't shoot the animal. You're also going to shoot the person. They're one and the same.
Unless that guy thinks he's that confident in his skills that he's going to hit the lion exclusively 4 times before he's even all the way out of his truck.
With a shotgun at 30 feet.
Slugs, right? Slugs.
That'd blow up the lion. Oh,
take a lion down is what it would do.
Got some lions on you there, Brian.
Lions are big. Like, they're big.
Slugs are big.
Like...
Elephants
big enough
get
for
shot
lions.
With slugs. I don't know, man. I think that thing's coming apart.
No, they
good.
don't. A slug won't take down a fucking elephant.
Piss him off pretty good.
Piss him off pretty good, and you get trampled.
Okay, so Michael's taken to the hospital, and Tammy and Byron, they show up. He's in a coma, and they're like, "Oh no, Michael! Oh, you look terrible!" And it's like, no, he just looks like Paul Walker. What the fuck? Like, there's not even schmutz on him.
Yeah, he's got some bruising, but like there is no hole in his neck. He's not missing part of his shoulder. None of that.
Yeah, right. Then Billy comes in because I guess Billy got the memo. Like, oh, there's a guy at the hospital like mauled. I'll go check it out. It's got to be our guy. I'll kill him there. When I didn't, whatever, Billy, you're a dumbass. So he comes in. And she's like, get out of here. And he's like, shut up. I'll do what I want. I'm going to kill that guy. And she's like, I'll kill you. So he slaps her. And she's like, ah, and nails him in the balls. And he's like, I will kill you for that bitch.
Yep. And Sean Whalen's going to kill...
Mark my words.
Byron. And Byron's like, I'll claw your eyes out. And they're both afraid of him.
Yeah, that's true. Also. He vows revenge against her, though. I just want to make note of that for later.
And this is the point in the movie where I realize that he's wearing army tags.
Okay.
So how old is this fuckface?
Billy. Well, he's just a guy that walks down the street and claims people as his property. I'm guessing he's
26, 27.
Yeah, that's usually when you start doing that.
I mean, that's when I started doing it.
Yeah, I was a little late. I was 27, but
I would go up to randos and be like, "You belong to me now," and they would just laugh in my face, and I would be like,
ironically,
"I've got a cheeseburger here underneath the box with a stick," and they would go into the box, and I pull the stick out, and I trap them.
Ironically, the only person I ever claimed that of was the janitor lady who would come in and watch us change the trash. That was, my turn.
Yeah, you're like, you're my property now. And she's like, thank you. I've been waiting my whole life for this. Shit, fuck. I take it back.
Can I pick up your trash in the bathroom? Damn it.
If I show you my wiener again, will you leave?
Nope.
No.
All right, so Gunther comes in, and he was called in by the doctor. Sam, did you recognize the doctor that calls Gunther in?
Yeah.
Who is that?
That's fucking the God damn it, Roger Lodge. It's Roger Lodge, man.
Who's Roger Lodge?
From the late
Lifestyles and Richard Famous?
No, it was like a dating show, right?
Oh, it was Roger Lodge. Yeah. What was that? And they had cameras follow the dating people, and the one guy had skid marks and asked for a back rub. What the fuck show was that?
What fucking... I can't remember that show,
MTV,
and that was like...
not long after this.
And they had the Live Links commercial every time, and then all of a sudden she becomes a thing in Lost, and you're like, holy shit, that's the Live Links girl. And you say that now, you're like, Evangeline Lilly was the Live Links girl, and you can date a person that they're at least 40 years old if they know that Evangeline Lilly was the Live Links girl.
Didn't she also become Ant-Man? Ant-Woman, Wasp? Oh my God. Quite the career, that one. She should write a book.
Well, when the Live Links commercial was on, you're like, that girl is hot stuff. So it was only a matter of time. She was destined for greater things. You could tell from that one commercial.
Oh my God. I had totally forgotten about that fucking show, though. Like, just totally blanked from Blind Date. It was called
Blind Date. That was a... What a time for television. That was like right before the internet took it away, and TV was just like a goddamn train wreck that you couldn't turn away from.
Sure was. I hated that show, yet I would watch it all the time.
Yep.
Is that the one where they had the three women in the bus, and he would take one woman out, and then...
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. It was just, they set two people up on a blind date, and the cameras are going with them.
And whatever you wanted to do, camera was on. So.
Most of the time it descended to screwing in a hot tub.
Yeah.
And so you get blurry boobs on MTV.
It was like Canine. It was syndicated, right?
Yeah.
That was a syndicated show when there was still syndicated shows.
The good old days. Okay. Roger Lodge. Yeah. Hey, bud. So Gunther comes in and he's like, oh, yes, I'm a real doctor. Blah, blah, blah. I'm here to inspect his penis, nurse. And she's like, okay, well, I'll hit the oopsie poopsie. I bumped into the switch with my ass. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And he starts flatlining. Gunther jumps on his chest, tries to give him CPR. She's planting smoochies on his mouth. And he's like, well, that's all. I gave it my best, but this boy is dead.
He does the live thing, though, where he's pounding his chest. Yeah. Live! So he's laying it on thick.
Yep. And both...
Meanwhile, drunk uncle is just sitting in the chair, and he is completely passed out this entire time.
Drunk Uncle Bob. We'll get back to him. Denise Richards and Byron, they both faint. Oh! And so... there's nobody to stop them from wheeling this still living person out of the hospital. Even though Uncle Bob comes to for a little bit and is like, moment of clarity. Nope, still really drunk.
Yep, takes another sniff of that bottle and goes, everybody had a bad day. I think it's a little beyond bad day.
Yeah, right. So Michael keeps waking up and Helga keeps punching him out cold, which is pretty funny. It's silly and corny, but it worked for me. And then they take him to this Dino lab. Well, where the Dino is, the actual lab of the Dino. I shouldn't say a Dino lab. It is the Dino lab.
It's either a storage unit or a warehouse.
Where they're lab being dinos. And again, he wakes up on the table. She punches him out cold. And that's his last words, because then they saw his head open and pull out his brains.
Yep. The sawing is great. It's very funny.
Very messy.
And very not going to make it in a PG-13 movie.
Yeah, because Children of the Corn guy is holding up like a TV tray trying to like get it off of his face. And then the bodybuilder guy who's also there is like puking up oatmeal. And
that was funny. They get in there. The oatmeal guy's barfing oatmeal. They get into the brain. And then it takes a direction that I just did not see coming. I did not see this going all the way to where it gets to. So he's poking around in his brain, making his body parts move, and he makes it like he makes his boner dance. That's the best way to put it. It was great.
But he's not just like, oh, look, poking it. He's like, ha, 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 ha.
Yeah,
ha,
he's going, yeah. And the wiener's like shaking, and it's like, whoa, wow.
Then he looks at Helga and he's like,
this part.
Remember that for later. She's like, So they pull his brain out, and no cerebral cortex, no spinal cord, sticky on parts, just a perfect little round brain. I guess they don't need that other stuff. Medulla oblongata. Throw that away. And then they stick it in and just like put needles into his brain that are attached to the Dino. And the Dino starts moving around, and he's like, now you have eyes. And it's just like a punch bowl that their brain is in. It's not like in the Dino. It's external from the Dino.
It's got bubbles. It's like a brain oxygenator.
Yeah.
Keeps it wet and airy.
Do they just put it in a capsule like a geranium so that it keeps moist?
Yep.
And then they put it in the dinosaur head?
We never see him put it in the dinosaur head, do we?
That would have taken... That's not their dinosaur. No. They can only fuck with it so much.
But it's over there, and then the next time it's inside the Dino. Because he's like, well, that's good for today. I'll finish the lobotomy tomorrow. And then they're like, we're hungry. Okay, order a pizza. Pizza guy shows up. It's Pedro. And the Dino's alive, scares Pedro. And the pizza gets dropped to the floor. Pedro runs out. And then the tough guy runs in, picks up the pizza, and is like, where'd that guy go? Oh, well, don't worry about it. You owe me $10. And so now it's just
$5. He starts at 5, right? This is my second favorite part. He's like, how much was the pizza? He's like, your share was 5. She's gonna zing his boy for $5 right here. And then he's like, I only got a 10. He's like, get you back later. Like, wow, you are a total douche, and I love it.
But then he Muscle Guy disrespects Paul Walker's lid by sticking his crust into his brain bucket.
Yep.
And
the brain pan.
The dinosaur's like, "Arr!" And then he leaves to get the car. And then the Children of the Corn guy is like, hey, you're a stupid dinosaur. Look at you. You've got tiny arms. Paul Walker's getting pretty mad and chops his goddamn head off.
Yep.
So
just munches it.
Then he's mobile, but this scene has not ended from the point where his brain was just in a punch bowl right over there. How'd the brain?
No, there was a wipe. So they do make some stuff move, tell him he has eyes, and there's seriously a wipe transition, like, got that brain in there.
Okay. All right. Okay.
It was a wipe.
I thought it was all one sequence.
Wipe.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, what I thought was really great about this is after he bites this guy's head off, right? his little Dino hand comes up and he's trying to like get the shit from between his teeth out.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Like we all do when we eat food, when we eat beef or whatever. And he was like, "Oh, I got a little piece stuck in my chompers here."
Yep.
And then I love that in between, after he chomps his head off and does that, he kind of says goodbye to his own corpse, like, "Goodbye, good-looking me." Oh.
Yeah, he rubs his own cheek.
You were so handsome.
God, I was handsome.
Dang it. Now I'm a dinosaur. He looks in the mirror. Roar!
He holds up the mirror. I like that the arms become much longer than a T-Rex's arm when it is necessarily or convenient.
Yeah, he totally does the Darth Vader. No!
Yep.
Tammy will never love me!
Tammy.
I was thinking of the Batman movie with Jack Nicholson, where he looks at the mirror and then he smashes it.
But he likes it. Joker liked being disfigured. I don't think that Michael does. I'm a T-Rex. Oh, no.
A robot T-Rex.
Every time I move,
without a wiener,
you can hear zzz, 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 like a robot. No. Okay.
How do you think that thing is powered?
Nuclear. Obviously. Okay. I don't know. Big battery that's still connected to the warehouse. It's got long cords, okay?
Long cords like in Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Just suspend some disbelief here, Sam. So he goes out, kicks the muscle guy to the ground, squashes him. So that guy's dead too. And then he uses a payphone to call Tammy and just goes, she's like, "What? Who is this?"
And then she hangs up on him and he tries to get his quarter back that wasn't even his quarter.
No, she's leaving a voicemail, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Her voicemail comes on.
God, Captain Correcty.
And it just sounds like really heavy breathing and and then he hangs up and he's like, "I want my quarter back."
This answers one of the questions I have, because earlier when they were about to screw, her dad calls her.
Right.
And she has her own essay. So they have two lines at her house. Do. She drives the Celica. She's a bitch.
He's probably a tool too, Michael. Let's be honest.
The quarterback at LA High School, he's totally a nice guy.
He's got a brand new Ford
Ranger. And he's got a Ford Ranger.
Brand new.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Ugh.
These
are the people like would throw stuff at me.
This life lesson,
if I went to a school that
needed
big,
to happen for these two. Otherwise, one of them was going to become president and like ruin life for us. Meanwhile, Billy, his group, they're partying, and for some reason, Tammy's there. Like, your boyfriend just died. Shouldn't you be like in mourning or whatever? Instead, you're out partying with people that are known associates of the guy who killed your boyfriend.
Yeah. Well, they weren't supposed to be there. This is a high school party. This is just some 27-year-old guy who the police had decided not to deal with.
Those ladies and one of his big guys is there before Billy
they're
even
probably
shows
in high
up.
School still.
Yeah, so don't go to a fucking party
I'm with Sam.
where known associates of the guy that killed your boyfriend are at.
Yeah, but I'm with Justin. I think it's a little weird that she's there like the next day.
Yeah.
I just gotta go to this party and drink some 7-Up.
It's not. She has her own phone line. She drives a Celica in 1994. It's a new Celica. And some guy who kissed her once died. She's back on the market.
Yeah, she's BBDing right here.
Yeah, she is. Also, her friend that's comforting her is like 37.
Right? Who the hell was that lady?
Who the hell is that lady? Is that somebody's mom who lets them throw parties?
It probably is. It's Stifler's mom.
Yeah.
That's the one that paid for all the alcohol to be served.
Right. No, after the divorce, nobody will drink with me but you teenagers. You're like the coolest street mom here, Brenda.
Yeah.
Oh, this is my only... I feel so young.
She's like, I just want to keep track of you guys. If you're doing it here, I can tell what's happening to you. Also, my husband doesn't ever come home, and that one over there's in trouble later.
Okay. So guess who shows up to a party where his known associates are at? Billy.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, I just want to talk to you. And she's like, oh, yeah, remember last time we met when you vowed revenge against me? Nope, I don't remember that. I still love you. Okay.
And then he's like, you're going to pay for that, bitch.
Yeah, you're going to pay for that this time.
I mean, if this guy was a creditor, he would be so far fucking in debt by this point. Like, you're going to die, bitch. You're going to get it, bitch. I'm going to get you. Like,
he's a borrower,
no, you
Jackie. If he was a creditor, you would love to have him like, so when are you going to pay me back? Later?
Can I have $5 more?
Yeah.
Sure. When are you going to pay back all the money?
Later? Okay.
Yeah, his mouth is writing rubber checks.
Sure is.
Yeah.
Okay. So, hey, guess who shows up as well? A fucking goddamn T-Rex. He's just hanging out in the
also,
branches.
I have to mention that this is the screen debut of one Poppy Montgomery as Drunk Girl.
Oh, yes, Poppy Montgomery.
I don't know why the world told me that I had to know who she was. Like, she was on Maxim, like, all the fucking time, and I'm like, what the fuck who is this person? Then you, like, open up the Maxim, and you're like, star of CSI? This magazine sucks.
I still don't.
Like, why would a 20-something watch CSI?
None of this is checking any boxes for me, Sam. I don't know what Maxim is, and I don't know what CSI is, and I don't know who the fuck Poppy.
It was your copy of Maxim.
I don't know who Poppy Montgomery is. And shut up. Shh. Shh.
I used to make fun of him. I was like, yeah, I buy Playboy because it's got undressed women and good articles.
We don't.
Maxim has like Poppy Montgomery in a bikini and like charts for people who can't read.
Yeah, well, that's me. All right. Busted.
I can't ever not toss shade at that magazine and its popularity. I'm like, America, you fucking suck. You can't even look at titties and read. Fuck off.
Oh, hey, another interview with Fred Durst. Great.
Like we fucking care what Fred Durst thinks about fucking anything.
Fred, where are you at on Poppy Montgomery?
She wouldn't go out with him, probably.
She wouldn't. I still don't know who she is, but probably no. Okay, so good for her. I'm glad she, used this opportunity as a launch pad to be somebody. So the T-Rex, he's there. He's looking around, and he sees Byron. Then he sees Billy, and he's like, "Urgh." And Billy's bud comes over. Wellen. What's this guy's name? Jeff Wellen? Stephen Wellen?
Sean Whalen?
Yeah. And he's pissing on his feet. Who brought this thing? The dinosaur?
Yeah.
It's either a statue or it's a dinosaur. It's not it's not something you bring to a party. It's there or not.
I mean, how do you do it? Like, even if it was a statue of a dinosaur, if it's a still unrobotic, static dinosaur that's outside the party, if I have to pee, I'm like, if I have to pee really bad, I'm going to pee like as fast as I can, and then I'm going to sprint back and be like, there's a fucking dinosaur over there. If I only have to pee a little bit, I'm turning right back around and like, hey, everybody. It's a fucking dinosaur.
And you don't fucking pee on the dinosaur because you don't want everybody to know that you just went out and took a piss on the dinosaur.
Right. Why would you pee on the dinosaur? Like, you're like, do. Oh, weird statue. I'm going to pee on it.
Next to these
because it said to do that in Maxim magazine.
That'd be good.
No, it didn't, because there's not actually writing. It's just graphs.
And so, old T-Rex, he claws his guts out.
Oh, during this scene, I really thought he got his wiener.
Okay, might have.
It'd be he's holding his guts. Yeah. He got him from the chest all the way
Neck
down.
to nuts,
so.
Maybe.
Yeah, so I thought that the nuts were going to come into play here, but they didn't. It was just guts that he was holding up, and then they dropped him, and he was like,
Lots of spaghetti.
Fell over and
Lots
died.
of
It was
spaghetti
great.
And an old tube from it was a coolant line from a 72 Dodge Ram before there was Ram. That's how fat ahead of this time's movies. Yeah, okay. And so he finds Billy humping in a car, and she's got her legs up, and she's like, oh my God. He's like, tell me I'm good. Or am I good? Am I that good?
I'm good, right?
I'm good, right?
It's me that's doing this, isn't it?
I will also say that she had low sexual expectations because she was wearing her stocking girdle, which goes underneath your skirt to hold up your knee highs or your pantyhose. You don't wear that on the outside. So obviously this chick is very confused. And so he's probably like, she's not real bright. What the fuck is she doing? Why is she screaming like that? And so he probably thought he was giving her a night of Thriller. And then her leg gets bit off.
Does it? I'm still not sure what happens to her because he just chomps her and lifts her up in the air a little bit. She's probably fine.
I feel like what's happening here is he's heard an actual reaction to something that's happening, and because everything he's heard before has been fake, he doesn't know what's going on.
True. But later the police do say there's a one-legged girl over there, but she's still pretty hot.
Oh, I missed that.
That was good. That was real good.
Was her name Eileen?
She got married to Bob.
Somebody out there has never heard that joke before and thinks I'm a fucking genius. Little do they know.
Little do they know. I'm afraid 7-year-olds don't listen to this podcast.
God, I hope not. Otherwise, we really are doing it wrong. Okay, so Billy runs away, and the party's over. Why? Because it's a goddamn T-Rex stomping through it. And there's some guy like, oh yeah, well this guy's a caveman. And they're like, T-Rex! They run away. And Billy fucking gets his head bit off like immediately. He's like, T-Rex, chomp. Okay, well that whole plot line is completely over. Huh.
Yeah, I like that too, the in the tent party, it doesn't give a shit. He's like, oh, you guys got to get out of here. And they're like, fuck off. You're an out of the tent person.
You're 27.
And then as he's getting eaten, he like lifts out of the, he's visibly either levitating or being lifted by something. They're like, oh, that's just Billy being Billy. Levitating? And even when his head comes down,
this before.
His body falls lifeless, spurting blood onto the ground. And then they don't really... They're like, yeah, that's just Billy. And then when his head hits the ground, they're like, oh my God, Billy might be dead, maybe.
T-Rex!
T-Rex.
And then they're like, but we have a lot of cocaine and some drugs here to do, and we still got this full 3 or 4 bottles of champagne, yeah.
Jackie, this is
just leave him there.
This is a teenage party in the 90s. Cocaine was not a different decade. This is pot and booze.
This is where
they're like, fuck that guy.
This is where methamphetamines is going to start taking its hold into America.
There might be a couple guys with ecstasy there. Might be a couple.
That wasn't until probably the MDMA craze was much later, probably 98 to 2004.
Yeah, I don't know. It's L.A. You know, they're the trendsetter.
They might have been ahead of it. They might have been ahead of it. Yeah, there was in L.A. and it still is that way. Farmies are the bandwagon. I mean, everybody in LA is fucking on the farming wagon.
Half
fucking pop pills.
Half
like
of these
crazy.
kids died from lewd, Sam, during this party. T-Rex is just stepping on corpses because they all got fucking OD'd on lewds. So he's like, there's a lady over there with a bottle of laudium. That's still a thing?
Vladium, yeah. That's actually, that you nailed it. That's what's super huge in the party scene right now in 1994 would be Valium.
No, I said laudium.
Oh,
that's what they used to
Valium would have been
tuberculosis with. Fuck you up.
Yeah.
The tuberculosis would also fuck you up. And actually, you got the tuberculosis because you were fucked up. Like, it's just a whole thing. Like, so, okay. So, he steps on a few more dudes, and then he sees Byron. Byron has been tripped by the T-Rex on accident, and
this was the best part when he sticks his foot out, and then all these people just start eating shit, and I'm like,
got a big leg.
Yeah, but again, it's like the boner. I didn't see the dino trip coming. Like, oh, that's funny. He's tripping them, not just biting their heads off. He's having a good time with it.
All the power of a T-Rex with the mind of a precocious teenager. Okay. So, but then he sees Byron, picks him up with his little tiny arms, and then dusts him off. Like, hey, you're good to go, buddy. Slaps him on the butt and sends him on his way. A couple other goons hide under a RX-7, which is not possible.
Was that? I think that was a TR6. It was a Triumph TR7, the sharp one. That was the Triumph TR7.
I'm pretty sure it was a TR7. Anyway, it's a tiny car.
Yeah, but this car has never been involved in any of the chases that we've seen up to this point with him.
Oh, yeah. But they're just hiding. They're his goons, and they're hiding under a car.
A car.
Yeah. And so he steps on it and smashes their heads. That's the end of that party. Cops pull up. They find the bodies and a couple of survivors, and then Byron is like, what they said, it's a dinosaur. He's like, son, what are you on? He's like, well, mostly euphoria of life, because I've recently come out of the closet, father. Yeah, I don't care about that. What, dinosaur, what do you say, dinosaur? Take my son to jail.
Well, and this is the first thing where they're like, well, radio the sheriff because his son is here. And they're like, sheriff, your boy is here. Like, they always cut themselves off where they say it. And there's been a mass killing. You need to get down here.
Well, elsewhere, Helga, she's scraping the muscle guy. Well, she's not scraping him. She's trying to roll him up like a fruit roll-up, and I liked that. I thought that was pretty funny because he got smashed. So pancaked.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. I didn't expect him to circle back around to him being a pancake. And that she was trying to roll him up and then kind of gave up on it. Really, the only thing that she was doing was giving us a down the shirt view, and there wasn't much shirt to begin with.
Sure. So he confesses, Gunther, he's like, if we still find this dinosaur, we will still become rich by selling mankind immortality. Not sure if you thought this all the way through there, Gunth.
I don't think he has. What's the power source?
Still have a brain. It's still gonna decompose. It's not like just because it's in the soup. It's immortality soup bowl. That's the bowl of like we found the Lazarus cup. That's what you're fucking talking about?
The Lazarus bowl, yeah.
What are you talking about, Gunther? Immortality? You're just sticking a brain in a robot. That's it.
Yep.
Well, as long as the geranium thing that they built around it works,
you were watching you were looking at your phone the entire time we made the Lazarus bowl joke, Jackie. Damn it. You're about.
If you do know what the Lazarus Bowl is,
No. Are you gonna tell me what it is?
It's one of the best. You'd have to watch it's one of the best episodes of the X-Files that there was.
No, I dated the guy whose dad was the exec on X-Files.
No, you didn't. No.
Yes.
No,
yes, I did.
You didn't. No, you did not.
Because I got prescripts for it.
What was his name?
Stony.
Yeah. Stony Gilligan was his name. You jackass. You were so fucking full of shit.
He probably thought his dad was an exec, but he was just a normal producer because there was only one exec on that. And it was
his name is Vince Gilligan.
Tim Gilligan.
He's like one of the best fucking
no,
guys
his
ever.
dad was an exec then.
No,
because
he was a fucking PA.
He was just he could have been a line producer. He could have been any number of producers, but he wasn't Vince Gilligan.
No, he was.
That's the only guy.
No. This guy was Stony London.
And that guy is a caveman.
Yeah.
I'm going to find the Stony London guy and I'm going to beat his ass. fucking leaking on set. That's fucking contract infringement, you son of a bitch. Okay. Jackie, you were silly. You were a very silly person. Where the hell are we? Oh yeah, Gunther's plan.
What? We used to read the scripts before the episode would come out to see if they were different from when the episode came out.
Mm-hmm. What year was this?
Early 2000s? 1999.
When did it stop? 2003?
2001, man.
2001, yeah. So
let's see. I went to college, 1997.
So you dated one of the people that knew a guy on the Robert Patrick version of the X-Files is what I'm wondering here? When even Gilligan was kind of mailing it in?
I don't know. I want to say it was... Okay, so I went to college from 97 to 98, and then 98 to 99, I went to Boise State, and then 99 to 2000, I went back up to the U of I. So it was between 98 and 99.
Okay. Yeah, it was on during that time. All right. Damn it, couldn't get her there.
His dad would send home scripts because Stoney was a big fan. And so we would read them together, and then we would watch the episode after it came out.
Every time Stoney was like, I'm going to read Scully's lines. I'm going to read Scully's lines.
It wasn't Scully. It was, what were their names?
She did disappear before he did, didn't she?
Yeah.
Either way, still's...
I don't know.
Doggett.
I didn't care.
Doggett, and what was the gal?
I hadn't been following it, so I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
I don't
And
remember
I was
her
just
name.
trying to be a supportive girlfriend, but really I was just like, I don't give a shit.
I remember Phil Doggett because I liked him. He was good.
Why are we talking about this? I think we beat the X-Files to death.
I don't know.
This
I
episode.
just feel like the X-Files has really... You just mentioned Duchovny around us, and then it descends into X-Files nonsense.
Okay, so the T-Rex, he goes and visits Tammy, and she screams and faints. The dad, he's like, I heard her. I'm going to go check up on her, even though I'm really not very protective at other times, whatever. And...
Yeah, but the mom is like, nope, I gotta finish making my smoothie. Screw that shit.
I'm putting vodka in. So the room is empty. The window's open. Tammy is gone. He has taken her to a barn where he wakes her up.
She is passed out?
Well, she fainted in her room.
She faints easily.
Yeah, lightheaded, that one.
She has the vapors.
Understood.
So he's like, yellow rose, but he can't talk because he's a dinosaur. And she's like, what? I don't get it. And he's like, chomp, 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 like from oh, God damn it. You're a thick one, aren't you, Tammy?
She's not quick on the uptake. She's marriage material.
So they play charades until she does get it, which is like Brian's brain in here. I mean, Michael's brain in here. You have Michael's brain? Michael's brain is it? No, you dumb shit. I am Michael. God.
Yeah. She's like, why do you have Michael's brain? Oh my God, we got to start from the beginning.
Okay, 3 words. I points to his eyeball. Am draws an M in the air. Michael. Okay. Eyeball Michael. No, God damn it.
You want to be like Mike? If I could be like Mike?
Just do it.
Coca-Cola?
Mac and me. Mac and me. Mac and me.
Mac and me.
All right, so she finally figures it out, and they have hugs and kisses. Hugs and kisses with the dinosaur. Back home, the cops are there, and she walks up, because it's the next day, and I don't know what happened in that barn, but I can make some connections, which is what
he doesn't have a wiener.
They did. Well, I mean, he's got a proboscis.
No, he has no...
He's a robot.
He's a robot.
Yeah, he's got no T-Rex boner.
He's not a pleasure
model.
model.
He's got the end of the tail. You know?
Gross.
Well, they love each other, Jackie.
So you're
Who
saying
are you
that
to
there
judge
was,
what love is?
That's the hentai barn.
Okay. Well, she says it was a meteor. They're like, nah, pretty sure it was a dinosaur. No, it was a meteor. Well, where's the meteor?
Business.
So Gunther and Helga are there, and they're observing, and they're like, okay, that's our ticket, is this lady. She tells Byron about Michael's still alive in a dinosaur that's a robot. And they're like, okay, well, let's plan to restore his body at the funeral. Let's just open him up and like his brain will float into his body or something. Yeah, I guess they're going to rob him.
Yeah, they're going to body snatch him. And then the mad scientist and his delectable lady are going to put his brain back into his body.
That's their plan.
Yeah.
It's going to go poorly for them. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
So Uncle Ben or whatever is still fucking passed out on the tombstone that he ordered. And she's like, what about him? And what's the other guy's name?
Byron.
Byron. Yeah, that's what I said. Bajan. Byron is like, but what about him? And she's like, oh, fuck, he's passed out. Who the fuck cares? Let's get the body.
No, that
Go
was
in there and get him.
Uncle Bob gives a moving speech that makes the dinosaur cry.
Give me the dinosaur cry. Oh, Uncle Bob.
But then the priest was like, fuck off, and shoves him out of the way.
That's pretty funny.
Because the priest is like, I got other things to do.
Well, they open up his casket, and he's all gross.
They didn't do a good job at the funeral home. He's already got rats in there. She's getting attacked by rats. They're crawling all over, and she's like, ah! And this is great because this is really where Denise Richards puts it into second gear. When she's looking for a new body for him, like, she is fucking on 11 great at being a ditz through this sequence. Like, I don't like that one.
Also, her I'm in mourning outfit. Her I'm in mourning outfit is
Madonna's Catholic video, pretty much.
Yeah, I guess maybe.
Red velvet and crosses.
And a little tiny skirt. Let's just.
She's going to a Skid Row show later.
If she is, she's getting up on stage because she looks goddamn great.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Gunther and Helga, they run up and they grab Tammy, and T-Rex is like, argh! And then Tammy does a pretty good job of defending herself. They end up in the casket, stepping on Brian's bones probably, because that's all there is down there. Says the T-Rex.
And the top half of the coffin is open, and that's where they land.
They, this is not probably an anticipated stunt, but the booby lady goes face first into that hole. She fell down pretty hard, and it was funny.
So they load the T-Rex into the truck, and they grab Gunther and Helga, and they drive to the morgue. They're going to get a body there. And they start, like, they go through all the bodies, and for some reason, Denise Richards, or Tammy, Byron opens up this guy, and he's like, he's really good looking. She's like, yeah, he is good looking. And then she checks to look at his package, and Byron's like, and she's like, nope, not him. So
she doesn't like huge dongs.
Or he doesn't. I'm not sure which. It was vague.
One of them?
I think she doesn't like huge dongs.
Well,
she's like, that's not for me.
That's a bummer for me too, then. God damn it.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he's a shower and not a grower. You never really know. You never really know until it's go time.
Okay, so then they start dragging a bunch of bodies over to the window to show, like, let's let him choose. So they're just dragging corpses. He's fucking window shopping for his body, and he's a dinosaur.
This is hilarious. And she's like jumping up and down like, yeah. Oh, he doesn't like that one either. Yeah, she's on 11 through this whole sequence, and it's awesome.
And then Byron drags over a lady. Well, we gotta try them all. I don't want to be with a lady. I want a man.
I could swear, and I don't know when. When is License to Drive?
Before this. It's like 88.
Before this? Okay. Because it looked a lot like Heather Graham, but it couldn't have been if...
No way.
Yeah, the dead chick looked a lot like... But Heather Graham's already a thing by then. Yeah,
definitely big. Like, she's got Austin Powers coming right around the corner. All right. So, he can't figure what out, and unfortunately it takes too long, and Gunther and Helga, they escape as the cops are pulling in, and they tell the cops, they stole our dinosaur, and so they got to get back in the truck and take off, and the cops are chasing them. It's Norville and Neville, and they chase him out into this orange field, and Brian's getting smacked in the face with trees because he's a dinosaur in the back of a truck. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, Byron drives the wheels off of it and the back, actually. He doesn't even notice that he's lost
Right.
3/4 of the truck through the orange field, or the orchard, or whatever oranges grow in.
So Byron runs down to wave down the cops like, Dad, stop, just stop. No, son, you're under arrest. Take my son away. And the sheriff and his men then see off in the distance Tammy riding on the back of a dinosaur majestically into the sunset.
Yeah, and then the not Buck Flower is this other guy. The other guy's a old rounder character actor as well, Ken Carpenter. He's like, man, she can ride.
Well, I guess if you can ride an electronic dinosaur, you're pretty qualified to ride whatever.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
So later, the cops follow Byron to the barn, the Bang Barn, and tons of cops come out of nowhere. It's like all of Mason County shows up out to get old Gator, like all of them, all the cops. So Tammy and Byron walk out waving her undies as a white flag.
Her Brazil.
Her undies. She wears them.
No, it was her bra.
Yeah, those are undies. She wears them undies, her clothes. Bras are still underwear, Jackie.
Well, underwear are something you wear over your crotch.
No, she only wears...
Bras are something you wear over your boobs.
Denise Richards does not wear underwear. She wears panties. Underwear is just what you can buy at Sears. She only shops at Victoria's Secret, right?
Underwears with an S usually has Spider-Man on them.
Good point,
Yeah,
sir.
that's probably true.
Good point. It would have been funny if she had a sexy bra and Spider-Man underwears on. Uh-oh. I can't wave those. Everybody will know.
Whose idea was that, right? Like, oh, we'll put the superheroes on. They're like, I've got Spider-Man on the junk. Like, I'm happy about that because I'm 6.
So who you wear today?
I had Wonder Woman underwear when I was a kid, and I thought that was bitchin'.
Yeah, I had the cheapest whitey tighties you could imagine.
Yeah, everything I owned until probably 14. I don't know. Until I was buying my own shit, everything I owned came from fucking Kmart.
Yeah, and then after that, it was all Spider-Man, right, Sam? All right, freedom, baby! Time to splurge! All they've got is Green Lantern. Okay, so they grab her, and T-Rex is like, "Rawr, rawr, don't touch my girlfriend." And then Gunther and Helga pull up, and they're like, they pull a quick and fast one on the cops. Like, they convince the cops to go let them take the dino down with a tranq gun.
Yeah. How's that going to work?
I guess they're going to shoot him in the brain?
Even the gay guy says he's animatronic. You can't dart him. And he's like, new technology.
Yeah, he talks himself into a corner with this tranq gun, and the cops seriously on screen go, bluff called. Let's see it, big boy. All right, go ahead.
It all goes to hell.
Yeah, it sure does.
Doesn't go great. Gunther's
His
chomp.
guts end up all over his girlfriend.
Oh, that was hilarious. But then the cops start blowing him away. starts shooting. It's like the end of or the beginning of RoboCop, and Michael dies in Tammy's arms. Question mark.
Yeah, it's seriously like 80s, 90s cop shooting. Like, they fire until they're out of ammunition, and one of them's like, hold on, I got more in the trunk, and then they start shooting again.
Later, she drives home, and she's all smiles, and she goes to her room, and she's got his brain plugged into a Commodore 64, or whatever was popular in 94, Gateway 360.
That one looked like it was one of the old IBMs.
Yeah. Still,
it might have been a Macintosh.
Still got his brain in the...
Either way, it's a video camera that she keeps a lens on for while she's at school, so he can't see shit or experience any kind of life while she's not there. She is completely controlling and dominating him.
That's a good point. She kept that cap on. She takes the cap off when she comes home. Could you keep the cap on? No, shut up! Shut up, Michael!
You'll get tired of staring at the wall. Trust me.
I'm not even going to open the window because the window is right behind her.
Yeah.
When she's dancing. So he could have kind of an outside view, maybe see some birds, some squirrels or something. And she's like,
have you used a camcorder from the 90s outside? That's not good footage. He's not going to be able to see shit.
Out here. It's really bright.
I can't see shit. Put the cap back on, you're right.
Can I be connected to the internet? Here, the chat rooms are starting to get interesting. Nope. You'll cause World War III. Have you seen War Games? Mm-hmm. I haven't seen any movies. I'm a disembodied brain living in the Lazarus Bowl.
Yeah.
And then this is where she's like, do you want a show? And he's like, I've been waiting all day. And so she goes and puts on some sexy white lingerie and a white outfit with a boa, and she works it, and the brain fucking electrocutes itself. It's jumping all over the bowl. It's like, pre-ejaculation.
Yep.
And then just shorts out.
She also just like dumped three fingers of bourbon right onto his brain, which is probably the equivalent of drinking a barrel of whiskey.
Yeah, he's dead.
He's like,
let's do it.
Okay, and that's your movie. Questions. I'm going to go first. Would you have preferred a Shakespearean tragedy in the end instead of the sexy dancing scene? He's dead, and she takes her own life. Movie takes a seriously dark turn in this wacky, fun thing just to hit us upside the head with something we weren't expecting. Sam?
I prefer the boobs getting shaked at me.
Shakespearean third
me
style
as well,
of ending.
with the possibility that eventually they're going to find him a young stud body.
Tragedy, comedy, boobs shaking ending. Okay, all right. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think I would have liked the tragedy. I think it would have been fucking insane and put this movie over to the top into the Hall of Fame.
If she would have been like a dummy fall suicide, then yeah.
Like she trips and breaks her head open on his face?
Off of the bridge or something, and it's a horrible dummy fall.
That would have been amazing.
That would have been great.
That would have been great.
If she just left fielded like out of nowhere, like if they were in a different spot, there was a bridge there, and she like right when they started shooting, just like sprinted off screaming nonsense and jumped off of the bridge and landed on her head. Yeah, I'd go for that.
Okay, all right. Jackie, questions?
Do you think they ever find him a body?
No.
Well, I think that they do, because if the mad scientist has figured out a way to keep a brain alive in a bowl, then they're lined up around, mad scientists are lined up around the street to figure this project out, right?
Oh, so that you're solving that problem. Like, hey, well, because their number one problem is lack of mad scientists. They're like, well, we got the body, but now what do we do with it? He's just rotting in the corner. We need to find a mad scientist. But you're saying the mad scientist comes first and brings their fine, good-sized penis, good-looking guy to her. And she's like, that one will do.
Yeah, they they're having a hard time screening all the applicants to make this project finished, kind of thing.
So it's like American Idol, but with corpses. Wait a minute, that's just like American
or mad
Idol.
scientists.
That's a fashion runway, Justin.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Where we judge it based solely on looks.
Yeah, all right, fine. Sam?
Is this Stuart Raffles' best movie?
No, Ice Pirates is better. Is this
Ice Pirates is better, is what I say.
Is this his
Yeah, me too.
best Stinker Madness style movie? Because Ice Pirates is borderline good. But also, I mean, I don't know. No,
Ice Pirates is a comedy, and it's fucking funny.
This is a comedy too, and it's fucking
yeah,
funny.
it's fucking funny. It's fucking funny.
Well,
and this is an accomplishment because, like, a guy showed up that may or may not have even been allowed to use that dinosaur, and they got this shit done.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is an achievement.
Why does this guy keep using air quotes whenever he says he has a dinosaur?
Yeah. Is that... I have a dinosaur. You have it? I know where the dinosaur is.
See, that's...
Like,
it seems...
They probably weren't allowed to do this.
A dinosaur. It seems like he's affiliated with the location of a dinosaur.
He found a dinosaur and fucked with it and knows that it works.
Okay. Anybody else? Jax? Sam?
I think that's it.
Did we get too little or just right or not enough of Denise Richards? Denise Richards. Because if you think about it, from here we go to Starship Troopers, and after that we go to
Wild Things, and then
which
she
blows, and then the 007 movie, which blows. But she's, let's face it, she's not a good actress, but she's fun.
She's fun, and she showed. That's the other thing. I mean, you know, they're not getting more than a couple tries at any of this.
Right.
And she turns it to 11 in this thing, so she's capable of good things. I really think that she would have had a different career had she not done Wild Things.
I also agree. Wild Things kind of sucks.
It sucks. And it was like, you're going to get to see him, and you do, but then you're like, it wasn't worth the rest of the movie.
It wasn't worth it. I mean... Thank God, Internet. We don't have to do that anymore. Hey, you're going to see him. And wait, so I got to wait 2 hours of boring shit to see it? No, you can just go see him now. Wild fucking thing sucks, yeah. And that 007 movie sucks, too. Oh, yeah, Christmas only comes once a year, huh?
Those are really, like, GoldenEye's the best one, and it's silly as shit.
Yeah. Jackie, you want to weigh in here? Could you have gone for more or less or just enough Denise Richards?
I thought it was just enough.
Yeah.
I've never seen Wild Things.
Oof.
I've never seen her in the 007 film, so it was fine.
Okay.
You know, she's older, too. Like, she was already 23 when this was shot, so I think we probably missed her prime. I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's a weird one. Her career trajectory, very short, whereas like a lot of the Baywatch babes got very lengthy careers with maybe less talent. I don't know. It's an odd career path that she had. Final recommendations. I'll go first, even though it's my movie. But this is obviously a 2. Everybody's gonna. I mean, hey, you see it, you like it. It's great. Go watch it if you haven't seen it already. Sam.
Yeah, if you listen to this program, you should watch it.
Jackie.
It's great.
Oh, it's a definite 2. It was a lot of fun. It was short, and there was a lot to laugh at. It was a cool movie.
It's
that's the best way to describe it. This is a cool movie because if you know everything about it, it gets cooler.
Yeah, it's a cool movie. All right, that's your podcast. Next week is Sam's pick.
No, it's not. It's Jackie's. I picked the...
No, last week we did The King's Daughter, which was my pick.
Oh, God, it is my pick.
Yeah, it's yours.
I erased that from my brain.
Okay. All right. Well, Sam doesn't know what he's going to do, so...
I don't.
We'll see what it is next week. Have a great week, kids. Get to the chopper.